Polly, do you want to go out and build a snowman together? I think it's sticky snow, and I hear that's the best kind for building things after snow.
Oh, that's a fun idea.
Did I hear someone say building a snowman? I'm in. Maybe we could have a snowball fight too.
Are you sure you guys want to play with me? I'm not too green for you.
Of course. Why do you ask?
Is this about what happened at school, Polly?
What happened?
Oh, some kids were making fun of me, that I'm green. They didn't want me to touch anything they were playing with.
Oh, just ignore them. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, sometimes people don't want me to hang around them either, Polly. I know it can hurt when that happens.
Oh, I'm sorry that you have to experience that, Polly and Sheldon. You know, God has created us uniquely, and He loves each of us just as we are. But you know, this makes me think of today's Bible story. There's a woman in the story that is untouchable. She's not allowed to touch anyone, yet Jesus heals her, and He shows her that He loves her. Actually, there's two people that Jesus heals. One is the woman who can't be touched, and the other is a little girl, and the only one who loves her is her parents. Today's big idea is Jesus shows love to everybody. Can you say that with me?
Jesus
shows love to everybody. All right, let's hear the story and see how Jesus shows love.
Hey Sheldon,
Hello, Maisie. How are you doing?
pretty good. How about you?
Pretty good myself, thank you. Hey, what do you say we do the memory verse?
Sure. Journey kids, you follow my actions.
Okay, repeat after me.
All right.
God is the Father who gives tender love.
God is the Father who gives tender love.
All comfort comes from Him.
All comfort comes from Him.
He comforts us in all our troubles.
He comforts us in all our troubles.
Now we can comfort others when they are in trouble.
Now we can comfort others when they are in trouble.
2 Corinthians chapter 1, 3-4.
2 Corinthians chapter 1, 3-4.
Good job, everybody.
Hey TJ, what happened to the cat that swallowed a ball of wool?
I don't know. What happened?
She had mittens.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
Hey, Sarah, here's an animal joke. Why are dogs such bad dancers?
I don't know, why?
Because they have 2 left feet.
Giddy up, horsey, faster, faster.
Come on, girls, time for bed.
But we're playing.
I'll read you a story.
Yay!
Come on, sit. Cuddle close. From Luke 8. On the other side of the lake, the crowds welcomed Jesus because they had been waiting for him. Then a man named Jairus.
Who's Jairus? I don't get it.
Here, picture this. Near a lake, there was a gathering of horses.
We love horses.
A horse named Jairus ran to Jesus, the Messiah. "Help, my only foal is dying. She is just young but very sick." As Jesus walked with him through the crowd, Jesus said, "Who touched me?" A mare was the one who nudged his tassels. She fell to her knees in front of him and explained that she was instantly healed from bleeding. Jesus told her, "Your faith has made you well. Go in peace." When Jesus arrived at the house of Jairus, a messenger told them that the foal had already died. Jesus told the horses to stop crying, for the foal was only asleep. All the animals laughed at Jesus, for they all knew she had died. Jesus took the foal's hoof and said loudly, "My child, get up." Her life returned, and she immediately stood tall on her hooves. Then Jesus told them to give her apples and carrots. Her parents were overwhelmed, but Jesus asked them not to tell anyone. The end.
So Jesus loves horses?
Jesus loves everyone.
Even little girls like me?
Big, small, old or young, wild or tame. Jesus loves us all. Now it's time for bed. Love you, Zaina. Love you, Sophie. Good night, girls. Love you both.
Good night, Lexi. Jesus loves you, and so do we.
In this story, Jesus heals two people, and one of them is a woman who is not allowed to be touched in her culture. And it's kind of hard for us to understand sometimes what that would be like. But it would have been very lonely for her. She would have almost felt hopeless because she had gone to so many doctors to be healed and just couldn't find anyone who could help her. So out of her desperation, she turns to Jesus and hear what Jesus says to her. On the other side of the lake, the crowds welcomed Jesus because they had been waiting for him. Then a man named Jairus, a leader of the local synagogue, came and fell at Jesus' feet, pleading with him to come home with him. His only daughter, who was about 12 years old, was dying. As Jesus went with him, he was surrounded by the crowds. A woman in the crowd had suffered for 12 years with constant bleeding, and she could find no cure. Coming up behind Jesus, she touched the fringe of his robe. Immediately, the bleeding stopped. "Who touched me?" Jesus asked. Everyone denied it, and Peter said, "Master, this whole crowd is pressing up against you." But Jesus said, "Someone deliberately touched me, for I felt healing power go out from me." When the woman realized that she could not stay hidden, she began to tremble and fell to her knees in front of him. The whole crowd heard her explain why she had touched him and that she had been immediately healed. "Daughter," he said to her, "your faith has made you well. Go in peace." While he was still speaking to her, a messenger arrived from the home of Jairus, the leader of the synagogue. He told him, "Your daughter is dead. There's no use troubling the teacher now." But when Jesus heard what had happened, he said to Jairus, "Don't be afraid, just have faith, and she will be healed." When they arrived at the house, Jesus wouldn't let anyone go in with him except Peter, John, James, and the little girl's father and mother. The house was filled with people weeping and wailing. But he said, "Stop the weeping. She isn't dead. She's only asleep." But the crowd laughed at him because they all knew that she had died. Then Jesus took her by the hand and said in a loud voice, "My child, get up." And at that moment her life returned, and she immediately stood up. Then Jesus told them to give her something to eat. Her parents were overwhelmed, but Jesus insisted that they not tell anyone what had happened. So did you hear what Jesus said to the woman? He called her his daughter. And also the little girl, he said, my child. So he showed both the woman and the girl how much he loved them by healing them and by calling them words that made them know that they were loved by him.
Wow, it's amazing that the little girl just got up and started eating.
Why was everyone laughing when Jesus said he could heal her?
They didn't believe him.
Yeah, when Jesus said that, some of the people thought he was being crazy to say it. But did you hear what Jesus said to the parents of the little girl and to the woman? He said the same thing. Did you catch it?
Something about faith healing them?
Didn't he say that to the woman after she was healed? Why did he do that?
Well, he wanted the woman to know how she was healed. Jesus did heal her, and he also healed the little girl, but it was the faith of the woman, and it was the faith of the little girl's parents that also brought about the healing. They were both involved.
But what does this have to do with those kids being mean to Polly?
Well, the woman who touched Jesus, she wasn't really supposed to touch him. In that culture, she wasn't allowed to touch him because of her sickness. And she knew that Jesus could get really angry with her if she did. But Jesus showed that he loved her, and he wasn't afraid of her touching him.
But Jesus didn't care about those things, right? He was going to heal her anyways.
Jesus showed that he loves everybody, just like our big idea says.
Does that mean that I have to love those kids at school? I think that might be harder than Jesus healing people.
Yes, Polly, you do need to show love to those kids, but you don't have to do it alone. God is there to help you do that as well. And you know, those kids at school, they need to know God's love and healing in their life too. Why don't you say our blessing as we go, and as you do, think about all the people that you know and say the blessing over them.
Okay. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace.
See you next time.
Bye.
You have to say that's a fun idea.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let's start that again. Parents. So, I don't know what else I was going to say.
This big idea.
Okay. Follow. What is it? Follow.
Yeah!
Woohoo!
Hey, Polly, did you see the manager?
Yeah, I did. He's weird.
Mittens.
Beep beep. Okay, we're done.
Mine gets more foggy, so. I know.
Yeah!
The one saying all the long, hard lines.
Yeah!
The woman being healed wasn't supposed to touch Jesus. She didn't know Jesus could get really angry if he knew. That's why she was trembling when Jesus called out, wanting to know who touched him.